Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen. Guys, bringing you your team every single day, our team every single day. Yes, the one thing about Glasgow Rangers Nation that is different to a lot of channels out there. We are fans, bringing you the fans view, hoping to get you, the fan, involved with the channel, guys. That is what we aim. That is what we want to do here on Glasgow Rangers Nation. Well, obviously, we aim to bring you the daily news every single day, as well as any events, any links, any gossip, any rumours, updates, everything. Now, how do you get that? You get it for free. We don't charge you. It's free. I'm not going to ask you for any money. All you need to do is to hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and give this video a like. It does help, guys. But yeah, mainly hit the sub. We're on 800 subs now. We want to get to 1K as soon as possible. As soon as we get to 1K, we can start to do more with the channel and really build this channel up, guys. Glasgow Rangers are one of the biggest teams in the world. Let's show the world. Let's show the world. Well, let's talk about what has been another momentous day in the city of Glasgow for the blue side of Glasgow, for the only side of Glasgow that matters, and that is Glasgow Rangers. Now, obviously, there has been a fan movement, mainly led by Club 1872 and obviously by the Union Bears against Ross Wilson and Stuart Robertson. Now, this organisation, the Union Bears have a number of games, unveiled banners against Stuart Robertson and against Ross Wilson. For instance, they had the cancelled signs with the pictures of Ross Wilson and Stuart Robertson inside. Now, obviously, Ross Wilson moved on in March. He went to Nottingham Forest to be the director of football operations at Nottingham Forest. Wanted to try his luck south of the border again with Forest, obviously, who are battling against relegation. Now, this obviously leaves the Rangers director of football post or sporting director post empty at this moment in time. Add to that, of course, the fact that club chairman Douglas Park also stepped down in the week, obviously, before the Old Firm game at Parkhead, which was rather odd timing, which obviously led to John Bennett, Rangers man, obviously a big Rangers fan, taking over as the chairman. Now, obviously, with any movement like that, with any movement at the top of the club, and there's been a substantial movement at the top of the club now with the chairman and director of football all being changed, there is, of course, I think, a strong desire from the chairman and from those at the top to bring in their own people. Obviously, Stuart Robertson, was here, has helped Rangers obviously, win the league, won 55, got to Europa League final. Obviously, was part of the organisation that's obviously won the Scottish Cup last season. Has now announced that he will step down in the summer. So as of July the 31st, he will cease his role as Chief Executive Officer of Rangers and will step down to pursue new projects. Now, I think this kind of follows on, really, the fact that, as I said, John Bennett is bound to want to bring in his own people. He's want to put his own people into those roles. He is a new start, a new fresh beginning for the club in a way. I know he was the assistant chairman, the vice chair behind Douglas Park, but he brings in obviously his own ideas in his chance to obviously run the club as he sees fit, because he is now the chairman of the club, obviously in line with whatever the wishes of the shareholders are. Now, John Bennett today announced, obviously, not Douglas Park, he's gone already, that Stuart Robertson would be stepping down and he would be leaving his role on the 31st of July. He immediately announced, however, that Rangers had already appointed a replacement for Stuart Robertson, and this was James Bisgrove. This is what John Bennett had to say. He said, "The board is delighted to appoint James as the new CEO of Rangers. Having transformed the club's commercial operations, James has demonstrated outstanding credentials in the key areas of commercial delivery, talent development, and leadership. He is ideally positioned to drive the step change in energy and restructuring that is now underway." Let's just take that comment from him, that quote from John Bennett, and look through it a little bit and pick some bits and pieces out of what he's got to say about this move of James Bisgrove to CEO. Right. So what does he have to say? He says, obviously, the board, that he has transformed the commercial operations. Obviously, James Bisgrove is someone who is taking part in the development of the commercial side of the business, the Edmiston House project, etc., etc. Now, although Edmiston House has run at 12 million, which is 6 million over budget, it still is projected to return a £1 million a year profit for the club, which obviously is very positive. Anything that brings in an alternative revenue stream to the football business has got to be welcomed. A modern club, a modern 21st century football club cannot just rely on gate receipts, on match day revenue to move forward. It needs alternative revenue streams. It needs multiple revenue streams coming into it. Edmiston House is one of those revenue streams. Obviously, Ibrox Stadium is another revenue stream. Player sales and the trading model is another revenue stream. Kit sales, etc. Advertising, sponsorship, all alternative revenue streams that the club can access. And obviously, that will be something that James Bisgrove will have to look into. He's got outstanding credentials apparently in these areas. Now, he has also taken part in talent development and leadership at the highest level within the club. So, this is something else that he needs to do. Again, he will be formed, I think, part of the team that obviously appoints a new sporting director, whenever that may be. Obviously, in conjunction probably with Michael Beale, whose feelings no doubt will be whose views will be found out, ahead, obviously, of the appointment of any new sporting director. As obviously that is someone that Michael Beale has to work exceptionally closely with. What is really interesting in this comment from John Bennett is that last sentence for me. He is ideally positioned to drive the step change in energy and restructuring that is now underway. So it's clear that John Bennett envisions for Rangers a change in the way the club is run, a change in the way the club operates, a change in the way the club moves forward. And this has only got to be welcomed, really, because of the fact that, we have slipped massively behind Celtic at this moment in time. Celtic's revenue is higher than us. Celtic's performance is better than ours. If that's really painful to say, it's horrible to say. As someone who's a diehard Rangers fan, has been now for nearly 40 years, it's an awful thing to have to say, when you've got to talk about your club being second best to your biggest rival. But it's true, two trophies in 12 years. They've won 23, we've won 2. It's not good enough. And we need that step change. We need that energy change. We need a change in direction. And I think the movement at the top of the club now is indicating that there is a desire within the club to change the direction the club has been headed in over recent years. John Bennett is a new voice, a new pair of hands, steadying the tiller and moving the tiller in opposite direction to Douglas Park. A new sporting director will come in, who again will be different in the way he runs the football side of the operations and also the sporting side of the operations for the club, to what Ross Wilson did. And again, James Bisgrove will run the business in an alternative way to the way that Stuart Robertson ran the business. Now, Bisgrove is someone who has got, experience, marketing, business and marketing experience. He came from Cardiff University. He is still quite young as well in footballing terms, and it's someone obviously who wants to drive success. Bisgrove has also announced that quarterly he will meet with fan groups and talk with fan forums about the club, about the direction of the club, about how the club is going, and about what the situation is in the club, which obviously is refreshing, given the fact that in recent years supporters have felt, rightly or wrongly, particularly Union Bears, Club 1872, for example, the board are out of touch with the fans, that the board don't talk to the fans. That is what they have said. Now, I'm not going to comment on that. I think that's what they feel. If that's what they feel, then everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But, this is a real sea change for Rangers Football Club. James Bisgrove, John Bennett, Michael Beale, whoever the new sporting director is, really do seem to be bringing a fresh air, a fresh look at things. And it's all part of, I think, the rebuild, the revamp, the retool, the remolding, whatever you want to call it, that is happening at this football club at this moment in time. And it's long overdue. It is overdue. The fact that we stood still after 55, I think most fans, 99% of fans will say we stood still after 55, and that's not good enough. We need to move forward. And I think this movement, this repositioning of people at the top of the organisation, this remolding of the executive branch of the club is all very positive for Rangers, and I think will stand the club in good stead. Well, that's obviously the major news of yesterday, and obviously today ongoing, really, and I think it will be going forward as we head towards obviously the semi-final on Sunday against Celtic. The other news that was today was that the split fixtures came out today. The SFA obviously releasing these fixtures. Rangers have 5 games remaining after the cup final, after obviously the split has now taken place. So what are these 5 fixtures? Obviously, we start on the 7th of May next weekend, obviously against Aberdeen at home. So a chance to gain revenge on Aberdeen for that 2-0 defeat at Pittodrie as we welcome the the men from the Granite City to Ibrox. Then the much anticipated final Old Firm game of the season at Ibrox will take place, a back-to-back home games, a 12:30 kickoff on the 13th. Against Celtic, again, a chance to lay down a marker. And I know this squad should be, hopefully will be, substantially changed ahead of next season, but it's still an opportunity for Rangers to lay down a marker, to put down a sign to Celtic that they're not going to have it all their own way next season. Then we go away again to Easter Road. Remember, previously we did play Hibernian away, a 4-1 victory at Easter Road. On the 21st of May, and the 24th of May we face Hearts, this time back at Ibrox, which is what is going to be our final home game of the season. So final chance for the fans to see the players, and perhaps some of those players who will be departing in the summer, the likes of possibly of Alfredo Morelos, Ryan Kent, Scott Arfield, Ryan Jack, for example. So, that's our final home game before the final game of the season, which will take place on the 27th of May away at St Mirren. Obviously, the last time we played St Mirren was a 5-2 victory at Ibrox. Going up to St Mirren will be a noticeably tougher tie than that one at Ibrox was. Obviously, Rangers 5 games, hopefully 5 victories. I think there's a good possibility that, depending obviously on what the result is, on Sunday, we could see some of the younger players, some of the squad players, get an opportunity to play and impress in some of those 5 remaining games. Certainly, Michael Beale has on a number of occasions said that he will give Robbie McCrory an opportunity to play, something obviously that is very interesting, especially given obviously the strong links over the past few days between Jack Butland and Rangers. Patrick Vieira, in fact, today spoke very highly of Jack Butland, really rating him as a goalkeeper and saying that he would do very well at Rangers, which obviously is very interesting indeed, obviously given the standing and the stature of someone like Patrick Vieira and all he achieved in the game at Juventus and Arsenal. But overall, obviously, we are building towards this game on Sunday. We are building towards the Celtic match, the semi-final. It's kind of a do-or-die situation, isn't it? It's a must-win game for Rangers, and you've got to hope that obviously players who are that have been off form, or players who have been out, Connor Goldson, return to the starting lineup. That's got to be the way we approach it, and it's got to be a game where Rangers leave nothing behind. They go out and put everything on the field. We go at them from minute 1. We give them not a minute's rest, and we don't give them any free gifts like we did at Parkhead. That's got to be the aspiration. That's got to be the intention when Rangers go up against the Celtic on Sunday. Well, guys, that is the latest news coming out of Glasgow Rangers this so far. Let me know what you think, obviously, of the movements at the top of the club, the new appointment of James Bisgrove. Also, let me know what you think of the split fixtures as well. What are you predicting for those 5 remaining games? Well, thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. This has been your news update. I've been Owen. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, as always, here on the channel. I'm about to speak to you again very soon here on Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please hit that sub, ring that notification. Please give this video a like, guys. It does help. Back to speak to you again very soon.